A season which started so magically at home winds down today with the Indians riding a 4-game winning streak. In between, the Tribe brought the magic back to Progressive Field with 12 walk-off winners and contributions from the greats of yesteryear to future stars of tomorrow. And today, the man who started here on opening day takes the mound again as the Tribe closes out its 2011 home season. Next on Sports Time Ohio. From Progressive Field on a gorgeous sunny Sunday afternoon, it's Cleveland Indians baseball, the final home game of the year, as the Indians try to broom the Minnesota Twins out of town. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Tribe took a day-night doubleheader from the Twins yesterday. Second time this year they've swept the Twin Bill from Minnesota, and they did it with the big inning. And ironically enough, it was the 6th inning in both games.
You know, the funny thing of it is when the Indians get rolling here, it seems like they're quiet the first 5 innings at home, and then all of a sudden the 6th inning hits, and then they take off. And once they get it rolling, they don't seem to stop. They just feed off each other. They get base hit after base hit. And I think a big helper is when you can get into that Minnesota bullpen, that offense is picked up. They've beaten them up all series long. One more game to go. You can see they've scored 11 runs in the 2 games yesterday on 10 hits. They walked 3 times, hit 3 doubles. They didn't even go deep yesterday, and they scored 11 runs in the 2 games.
Well, that was pretty impressive by the Indians to break out in that 6th inning yesterday in both games. Today, let's see if maybe Fausto Carmona can simply pitch them to a victory. He's coming off a win his last time out. As we look at our pitching matchup, it's brought to you by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today.
Liam Hendricks going for the Minnesota Twins. He is 0-2 this year, is .623. So this young pitcher, his last start against the Mariners, 5 1/3 innings, 10 hits, 4 earned runs. Now, in Fausto's last start, he stopped a 6-game losing streak. So he got up against the White Sox, was able to get that win. We'll see if he can end the season on a positive note for the Cleveland Indians. This will be his last start of the year, and he's got a big offseason coming up because he has an option that could possibly be picked up.
Indians 2 games over 500, looking for win number 81 here this afternoon. We're back with the starting lineups, first pitch, all the play-by-play action. Straight ahead on Sports Time Ohio. And we welcome you back inside Progressive Field, where the Indians will try to finish a 4-game sweep of the Minnesota Twins here this afternoon. For the Indians, it's Fausto Carmona on the hill. And while he finishes his warm-up tosses, we'll take a look at Ron Gardenhire's starting lineup. Denard Span, Ben Revere, Michael Kadire at the top. Then Chris Parmalee, Danny Valencia, and Trevor Plouffe in the middle. Brian Dinkelman, Joe Benson, and Drew Butera round it out.
Fausto Carmona is making his 32nd start this year. His record is 7-15. He's coming off a win against the Chicago White Sox in the first game of that day-night doubleheader against the White Sox back on Tuesday. He went 7 innings, 7 hits. He gave up 3 runs. He walked 2 and struck out 3. Let's take a look at the Indians' defense, brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet, saluting the men and women defending our country and watching on the Armed Forces Network. It's Duncan in left, Carrera in center, Fukudome is in right, Chisenhall at third, Donald at short, Kipnis at second, Santana at first with Lou Morrison behind the plate.
Mark Lolo calling the balls and strikes. Alan Porter at first, Tim Welke at second, Jim Reynolds at third. And we're underway. Fausto missing for ball 1. 76 degrees, our game time temperature. And Denard Span shoots one toward left. Shelly Duncan came in too far, and the ball carries over his head for a leadoff double.
Well, he played this ball into a double because that ball, catchable, he broke in, and then all of a sudden, I got a back pedal. Gets up over his glove, ticked off the top, and that'll go as a double.
So Denard Span aboard, and Duncan a little upset with himself.
Yeah, rightfully so. That's a play that he should make 100% of the time.
So here's Ben Revere with a new career-high 12-game hitting streak. Revere has gone 6 for 14 in the series. He had an 11-game hit streak earlier this year. During this tear, he's hitting .426 with 10 runs batted in. He has stolen 8 bases, and he has scored 7. Has raised his batting average up from .244 to .271 during this streak. Line drive, base hit in the center field. And makes it a 13-game hitting streak, and the Twins have a 1-0 lead. So back-to-back hits to start. And Minnesota jumps on top early.
Well, they did that in the second game yesterday. Came right out of the chute. There's a pitch up in the strike zone from Carmona. They drive it right back up the middle. So the misplay turns into a run for the Twins. 1-0.
Michael Kadire, he's just 3 for 13 in the series. They're going to appeal at third that he missed the bag, but no dice. Fouled back by Kadire. Twins will go home for 4 games, or for 3 games, I should say, against Kansas City to finish up. No balls, 2 strikes. Runner goes, and it's fouled away by Kadire.
Well, that ball was bearing in on him. He swung at a pitch that looked like it was out of the strike zone, ended up fouling it off his leg, his back leg at that. That's how deep it was inside it. The ball almost looked like it was going to hit him. Revere was off and running on a pitch, had a very good jump too, by the way.
Fouled it off his foot again. It remains 0-2.
He's beating himself up in this at-bat. That goes off the protection of his front shin.
And the 0-2, pitch out, nothing doing. Another pitch out, still nothing doing.
Back pitch outs.
2-2.
That's a rarity. Thinking that Rivera's going to take off. Well, if you want to run, now's the time. They've done it twice. They're certainly not going to do it 3 times. Rarely do you ever see a pitcher do it twice, and usually it's a guy that has good control.
Runner goes, fouled out of play. Minnesota has lost 19 of their last 21. 2 more losses gets them to 100 on the year. Runner holds this time, and Kadair hits a fly ball to right. Fukudome will make the catch, and back to first goes Revere, 1 down. And with more on today's starting pitcher, Fausto Carmona, let's join Katie with him.
Well, Matt, I spoke with Manny Acta this morning about Fausto's season. He said he gives him credit. You know, he fought through this entire year. He was durable, and no matter what, would take the ball every 5 days. Now, he told me when he got in trouble, it was when he was relying on his secondary pitches too much. Next year, he has to see consistency from him. But for Manny, he says it really just took Fausto longer than expected to make that transition from thrower to pitcher.
Chris Parmalee with a runner going, hits it to first by Santana. Revere will go to third, and we've got Twins at the corners here in the first. Still only 1 out, as Parmalee was able to pull it past the diving Carlos Santana.
Well, look at the location on our Time Warner Cable pitch tracker. The ball's right down the middle, and it's upstairs. Easy pitch for him to pull into the hole, so they will send runners to the corners.
Danny Valencia will be the hitter, 3 for 7 in the series. Misses for ball 1. Ron Gardenhire was last year's manager of the year in the AL. And a lot of people thought his Twins team would be right back in the hunt this year. But an inordinate amount of injuries really waylaid any chance the Twins had of competing this year. They got to within 5 games of the 500 mark in the middle of July, and they were only 5 games out of first place. But then they suffered through a brutal stretch in August and then here in September, losing 21 out of 26 at one point in August. And they've lost 19 of their last 21 here in the month of September. The question the Twins will have to answer as they go forward is, do they have enough in reserve to replace some of the injured players they have and some of the subpar performances that they have seen?
Well, the question mark comes back, is Justin Morneau going to be around with the concussions? You know, those are question marks that can't be answered yet. You have to wait and see. Joe Mauer, what happened to him? Those are the big money guaranteed guys that, you know, you're not going to, you can't rid yourself of those deals.
Mauer ended
have
this year
to come back
on the DL with pneumonia, and Morneau ended with the flu
Denard Span has concussions, and this year has gone through a bout and has missed time with him. And
Jason Kubel's missed a big chunk of the year with problems in his foot, which still has him sidelined. Hit to right. Fukudome broke in. Now he has to go back and makes the over-the-shoulder catch. Tagging and scoring is Revere. And there are 2 down here in the first. Minnesota on top now 2-0 as Valencia drives in his 72nd run on the year. Trevor Plouffe has gone 4 for 11 in the series. And he takes a strike. Hit to right field again. Fukudome is there. And the inning is over. But Minnesota scores a pair here in the first. Indians coming to bat. Kosuke Fukudome, Jason Kipnis, and Carlos Santana due up for the Tribe. Then it will be Travis Hafner, Shelley Duncan, and Lonnie Chisenhall, Jason Donald, Ezekiel Carrera, and Lou Marson. Tribe starting lineup brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians.
Well, Liam Hendricks making his 4th major league start this year. He is 0-2, looking for win number 1, a .623 earned run average. He only pitched 17 in the 3rd innings, 22 hits. He has walked 3, struck out 11. Let's take a look at the Home Depot defense for the Minnesota Twins today. It's Revere, Span, and Benson in the outfield. Valencia, Plouffe, Dinkelman, Parmalee on the infield with Butera behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Fukudome just 2 for 12 in the series. Roped to right field by Fukudome. And a leadoff single gets the Tribe started today here in the bottom of the first.
Well, Fukudome gets a fastball on the inner part of the plate, only 88 miles per hour, and turns on it. So he gets the Indians first off, started off very well.
Jason Kipnis taking a strike, 2 for 6 in the series. Liam Hendriks was signed by the Twins out of Australia. He grew up on the west coast of Australia. So along with Luke Hughes, they have a couple of Aussies on this Twins ball club. Several years back, we had Cameron Cancross here with the Indians, who was an Australian native. And he was always a real treat to have around, had a great sense of humor. And so does Liam Hendriks, for that matter. He says, quote, "I have been to Outback Steakhouse." He said, "They have a certain Australian beer that I like, and I admit I will go there for a drink." He said, "Actually, in spring training, all the Aussies, we get together and go there for spring training, and we drink them out of that particular Australian beer." Grounded to short. 6-4, not in time on the turn at first. So Fukudome erased for out number 1. Kipnis aboard on the fielder's choice. Injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk Serious Lawyers. For serious injuries, call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Trevor Crowe will not play anymore this year. Asdrubal Cabrera just bothered by a little soreness in that right elbow when he was hit by a pitch the other day. Shin-Soo Choo was transferred to the 60-day disabled list to make room for Mitch Talbot, who made the start in last night's game. The Indians put Josh Tomlin on the 60-day DL today and called up Jared Head to have an extra outfielder on hand. Carlos Santana 3 for 8 in the series with a home run. He chased after it, ball in the dirt. And it's 1-2.
Well, you can see he definitely, look at that, that's a full swing there.
And Santana strikes out 2 down. That'll bring up Travis Hafner.
There's the breaking ball from Hendriks. He gets Carlos to swing over the top, out number 2.
Missed outside. Ball 1. Hafner 1 for 3 in the series. Indians down 2-0 here in the first. That'll even the count of 1-1. Liam Hendriks has also had to overcome a couple of knee operations and a pretty serious back operation, too, back in 2008. The 1-1 pitch. He says the back operation was no big deal, but then you read about what they did. They actually shaved down some of the vertebrae in the base of his neck because he was having numbness in his pitching hand. Doesn't exactly sound like outpatient surgery.
Well, he says there's no big deal now because it's done. You don't have to worry about it. Been through it.
The 2-1. Hafner smokes it to center field. Kipnis will stop at second. Second hit of the inning for the Tribe. They've got 2 on with 2 out for Shelley Duncan. Our great clip of the game from last night, Shelley Duncan with his second straight 3 RBI performance. Put the Indians ahead for good. Relax. You're at Great Clips. Our Ion 4 Powerade rankings. In the month of September, only Adrian Beltre and Victor Martinez have driven in more than Shelley Duncan. Little squib job towards short. Plouffe, bare hand grab, couldn't come up with it cleanly, and the bases are loaded. So an infield single for Duncan. Loads him up for Lonnie Chisenhall.
Well, right off the end of the bat, and with everybody playing back with 2 outs and there's runners in scoring position, they're playing deep, and the only play that Plouffe had was, to barehand it and try and go for Duncan at first base. Couldn't do it, couldn't come up with it cleanly. Goes as an infield single, and it keeps this inning going for Lonnie Chisenhall.
And Lonnie's had a good series. He's 4 for 6 with a couple of doubles. Twins handed Hendricks a 2-0 lead. Now the Indians have him loaded with 2 out, bottom of the first. Outside, ball 1. That'll even the count, a ball and a strike. There's a line drive single into right field. That's going to score Kipnis. Here comes Hafner. Throw to the plate, cut off. And we are tied at 2 as Lonnie Chisenhall delivers his 5th hit in the series. A 2-out, 2-run single to tie the game.
Well, another 2-out base hit. This will be our McDonald's I'm loving it swing right here. Got to love those 2-out base hits, and it's going to tie the ball game up, and Chisenhall starting a warm-up. Told us yesterday that he just wants to end it as positive as he can. He'd like to get that average up, and that's a good way to start with a base hit and 2 ribbies.
Now Jason Donald, Tribe shortstop, 2 for 6 in the series. Takes a pitch up high for ball 1. That's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Just did catch the corner. 2-1. Duncan at third, Chisenhall at first with 2 down in the first. Indians with 2 runs in. Same spot. Donald doesn't like it. And that evens the count at 2-2. Perfect spot. Doubled up on him.
Just watching Hendricks in the first inning, that looks like his money pitch is that breaking ball, the slider. He doesn't have enough fastball to get it by you. So the approach as an offensive guy would be try and take him the other way. You stay back on his best pitch, which is a slider, which is about 80, 81 miles per hour. Just make him get it up in the strike zone.
Lots of offense early today. Yankees 2-0 over Boston in the first. Detroit leads Baltimore 2-0. They're in the second. Here it's 2-2. Indians still batting bottom of the first. 2-2 pitch. Full count. Zeke Carrera waits on deck. Chisenhall, the runner at first, will be off on the 3-2 pitch. Boy, didn't miss by much, but the bases are loaded. Second time in the inning. And that's going to bring out pitching coach Rick Anderson as Carrera will be the 8th man to bat in the inning. Let's take another look at the 3-2. Wow. Ooh, maybe a little low, but tough to take.
Well, I'll tell you what, if this umpire is going to make calls like that all day, it's going to be a long day. Because if the guys can't make pitches like that to get it called, it's a hitter's zone, and you're going to have to throw it in a teacup. There'll be balls flying all over this ballpark.
Anderson back to the dugout. Ezequiel Carrera, 2 for 11 in the series.
And here's a guy that's an awfully good hitter with runners in scoring position and 2 outs.
Yeah. A .320 hitter with runners in scoring position and 2 outs.
Yeah, that's scary when you can do that.
Only his third at bat with the bases loaded. He's 1 for 2. Meanwhile, this will be the 30th pitch of the first inning for Liam Hendricks. And the Aussies 0-1 is a little bit outside to even the count. Swung on and missed in the count 1-2. Shelley Duncan at third, Lonnie Chisenhall at second, and Jason Donald down at first. And the 1-2 to Carrera is slowly tapped to third. Valencia's flip is in time, and the Indians leave them loaded. But they score a pair, and we're tied at 2 after 1. By McDonald's, the Mango Pineapple Real Fruit Smoothie has arrived. By your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. And by AT&T. Sun kind of darting in and out between the clouds here this afternoon.
Boy, we'll take it, won't we?
You're not kidding.
Love to see that sunshine.
Brian Dinkelman, Joe Benson, Drew Butera for the Twins here in the second.
Well, it was a busy first inning by both teams. Both these pitchers are going to have to try and be aggressive early in the count and get ahead of the hitter so you can then maybe expand it because it looks like a small strike zone.
That's hit the center. And Ezekiel Carrera has it, one down.
Well, Progressive Field offers much more than baseball. It's open year-round for meetings, fundraisers, wedding receptions, and holiday parties. And the event specialists have all the bases covered. Visit Indians.com and find out more.
Joe Benson, 1 out of 8 in the series. Hay takes a strike. Benson, a right-handed hitter.
Well, what scares me right now, Fausto Carmona is a ground ball pitcher, doesn't have one ground ball out yet. Everything has been hit in the air.
Benson had a pretty good series against the Tribe back in Minnesota. He had a 4-hit game with a couple of doubles, a triple, 3 runs scored. Up the middle, diving stop by Donald. Had trouble getting out of his glove, and Benson is safe at first. Boy, a tremendous diving stop by Jason Donald, but he just couldn't find the handle to throw him out.
Yeah, the first half of the play was very good, and as he gets up in the transfer, he bobbles it, getting it out of the glove. It's a nice dive and stab, and there's the double clutch that enables Benson to beat that out for a base hit. I mean, that's a play. Once a shortstop leaves his feet, you have to be flawless. You can't come up and make any play because you have a far, the range and the throw, the distance on the throw is going to be that much longer. You got to be perfect.
Catcher Drew Butera. Couple of hits yesterday, including a triple. Over top of the Tribe dugout into the seats. Runner goes, and it's slowly topped to the mound. Carmona lost it in the sun. How about that? A ground ball that popped up in the air, and Fausto couldn't find it.
Well, no pitchers wear sunglasses, and that sun is out enough. You said it's peeking its head out from the clouds, and he's looking directly into it. The hit and run was on, and he tried to stay with it. He tried to shade his eyes, couldn't do it. Lost it in the sun, has to get out of the way. That'll go as an infield single.
So Minnesota with a couple of infield hits, have 2 on with 1 out, and Denard Span coming to the plate. Span lifted a ball to left that Shelley Duncan kind of misplayed in that first inning. He thought it was going to be more of a line drive. He broke in, and the ball carried over his head. And Span takes it's ball 1. 2 balls, no strikes. Broke his bat, bounced to third. Nicely played by Chisenhall. Steps on the bag across the diamond, and Santana came off the bag. He just couldn't stretch out far enough.
Yeah, he did. He certainly did. That foot just slides off the bag at the last minute. Chisenhall made the play. I wonder if he had maybe a little more time to step on third, plant, and throw a seed, because he has such a good arm. He threw that ball in a hurry, and it was a little offline. And what it does, it brings Santana off first base. But that was a double play ball. Take another look at it as he slices it down the third baseline. Here he comes, steps on third, and he's throwing it on the run. So you can see the foot of Santana just slides off first base. So they cannot complete the double play, and they'll have one more chance at it.
Ben Revere, an RBI single his first time up. Chased a sinker down and away. It's 1-1. Back to the mound. Fausto Fields fires, got him. And he gets out of trouble here in the second. We remain tied at 2. Two, bottom of the second inning. Lou Marson, Kosuke Fukudome, and Jason Kipnis due up for the Indians. Final home game of the 2011 season here at Progressive Field. Lou Marson 2 for 7 in the series. And that's blistered to right. Benson makes the catch, 1 down. Okay, here is today's AT&T trivia question. Since 1980, 3 Indians players have had a 30-homer season while under the age of 25. Who are those 3 young sluggers? We'll have the answer coming up later in the game. Low ball one for Fukudome. Two and one. Fukudome with a line drive single to right his first time up. Third hit in the series. He's got another one. 2 for 2 on the day. And a one-out base runner now for Jason Kipnis.
Well, Fukudome able to pull another ball in the hole. First time up he had a pitch inside. This one he gave him a little more swinging room, but he was still able to get the barrel out of the bat out front. 5 hits now for the Indians. All singles.
Two and 0 the count. Kipnis 2 for 7 in the series. Liam Hendricks piling up the pitches. He's at 40. Three balls, no strikes. Carlos Santana struck out his first time up, waiting on deck. Kipnis finally sees a strike, and it's 3-1. And he walks him. Well, the Indians have 2 on with 1 out here in inning number 2. Minor League Report brought to you by Kia. Bo Mills, I mentioned it yesterday. He's really turned the season around. Played well for the Clippers. Mike Sarbaugh was impressed with the way Bo Mills, finished the year at AAA Columbus. Now Carlos Santana with 2 on and 1 out. Fouled back. Rounded right at the shortstop, and a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. 2 complete. We're tied at 2. top of the third. I want to remind you to stay tuned later in the game to see our Miller taste greatness moment. Two our score. It will be Michael Kadire, Chris Parmalee, and Danny Valencia to face Fausto Carmona. Chopper foul. Boy, how many line drives to right field has that been in this game?
Well, he has just 2 ground ball outs. Those are the last 2 outs, but they have hit the ball with the approach of going the other way.
That's the 4th put out for Fukudome already in this ball game. Let's join Katie Witham once again.
Well, guys, as we wrap up this season, we already look towards the next one. In 2012, going to be a good year here. Season ticket holders get the best seats at the best prices. You can lock yours up now online at Indians.com or call 216-420-HITS, guys.
A called strike to Chris Parmalee. Out of play. Bounced foul, first base side. Oh, 0-2 the count. The Yankees lead Boston 2-0. They're in the third in New York. Tampa Bay out to a 2-0 lead over Toronto in the first. Boy, that.
Well, the Yankees have a doubleheader today with Boston. So if Boston should lose 2 and Tampa wins, you have a tie for the wild card in the East. Is how it shakes out. And, I mean, you have who's pitching the first game for today? Nuxie. Tim Wakefield's pitching the first one, and Lackey's pitching the second one.
I don't know. The sheet here has Lackey, then Wakefield, but I don't know.
It's Wakefield first.
He did not go, says third base umpire Jim Reynolds. Fouled again, third base side. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up right here. And another foul ball. Finally strikes him out. First K for Carmona. 2 down here in the third. Let's go back to the Hyundai Studios right now for an in-game update with Al Pulowski.
Hey, man, Rick, you guys were just talking about this game here. The Red Sox and the Yankees, and Tim Wakefield having some trouble. First a pass ball, then a wild pitch. That's how New York's gotten their 2 runs, both in the first inning. They're now in the third. 2-0 Yankees over the Red Sox. Back to you.
Thank you, Big Al.
Pitch inside. You know, it's interesting. Al just told you it was a pass ball by Jared Saltalamacchia that allowed Jeter to score, or allowed Gardner to score in that first inning. Looking online here, one of the websites said, runner scored on Jared Saltalamacchia's missed catch error. I've never heard it put that way before.
Well, are they watching it on television and then printing it out on the computer or what?
Missed catch error. Okay. AKA passed ball. Danny Valencia, sac fly in the first.
Yeah, but weird stuff like that happens all the time to knuckleball pitchers. You know, it's normal in a game that they pitch where a catcher's not going to catch a ball on strike 3 and a guy will reach first base, or you have runners on base and they just can't catch it. That's why Varitek has never caught Wakefield. He can't.
Bounce to short. Donald backhands it, slings it over, and Santana applies the tag as Minnesota goes 1-2-3. And we go to the bottom of the third, all tied up at 2. Home half of the third. Travis Hafner, Shelley Duncan, Lonnie Chisenhall due up for the Indians. Tribe sent 8 men to the plate in the first, scoring a pair on 3 hits, but they left them loaded. Down in the dirt. Hendricks walks Hafner on 4 straight to start inning number 3 for the Tribe. The STO Celebrity Par 3 Shootout returns tonight at 10. Austin Carr, Ron Harper, Bruce Drennan, and Tony Grossi will battle it out at Stonewater Golf Club. The STO Par 3 Shootout tonight at 10, following the Golf Zone with Jimmy Hanlon right here on STO. Drew Pichera's got to go out and talk with his pitcher, Hendricks. He's having a tough time finding the strike zone now. He walked 2 in the first, 1 in the second, now 1 more here in the third.
He's about at even split. He's 24 balls, 27 strikes today.
That's hammered. Deep left. Revere looking up, and it's gone. Shelley Duncan stays red hot in the month of September. That's his 8th run batted in this series as he clobbers a 2-run homer to put the Tribe on top 4-2.
Well, he continues to swing a red-hot stick, and I mean that ball got out in a hurry. Home Run Replay brought to you by Great Clips, great needs, great deeds, great clips. And he knew it. I think when it left the bat, he left it middle of the plate, and right after the catcher went out there and talked to him, hey, we got to throw a strike here, Duncan was ready. And he hits a home run for Duncan.
The fan reaches over, but the ball's going to hit the railing anyway, so that's a home run. That's what the railing is designed to do, to keep a fan from reaching down below the yellow line. They can still reach over the railing, but there's little, if any, chance at all that a fan could reach over that railing and still get his hand down below the yellow line. And so Ron Gardner, I think, just wanted to make sure that that was the ruling.
Well, you're going to see him. You're right. That yellow line is at the top of the fence. So even if you do reach over there, you'll see the glove come over. That would have been a home run if he leaves his glove behind there, hits the railing. Doesn't matter. Duncan's 11th. And he has been some kind of hot this month. I think his 22nd RBI in his 23rd game.
Yeah, he has been a man on fire. It's 26 ribbies in his last 37 games since August 5th. That's his, 22 ribbies in the month of September.
Yeah, 22 out of 23, that's right, in the month of September.
Fouled over into the Twins dugout. Chisenhall fouling it out of play. He drove in a pair in the first inning to tie the game for Cleveland.
Send along some birthday wishes. Doris Berkey of Berea is turning 90. Irene Freimel of Cleveland is 71. Happy birthday.
Popped in the air to right. And Benson has that for out number 1.
We also have Joe Monty of New Philadelphia turning 71. Irving Oppenheimer of Shaker Heights is turning 50. Rob Neno of Cortland is 23. And Mark and Christian Mitchell of Cleveland celebrating their 1-year anniversary.
60 pitches for Liam Hendricks with 1 out here in the third. Hopped back into the seats. It's 0-2.
And one more birthday. Happy 21st to a set of twins, Lauren and Lucas Cooley. Happy birthday.
One ball, 2 strikes. And Donald strikes out. Second K for Hendricks, 2 down in the third. Ezekiel Carrera bounced to third his first time up. Right back to the mound. That'll end the inning, but Shelley Duncan's 2-run homer as the Tribe on top 4-2. Four-2, Indians on top. As we go to the fourth inning, Trevor Plouffe, Brian Dinkelman, Joe Benson for Minnesota. Yankees have extended their lead to 4-0 over Boston this afternoon in the Bronx. As Rick told you, they've got a doubleheader in New York. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay trying to continue to close the gap on Boston in that wild card hunt. They're taking on Toronto at home as Jason Donald scoops up that ground ball from Plouffe, throws him out. We've got one down. Well, let's go ahead and check all the scores right now, and you'll see Tampa Bay with a 2-1 lead over Toronto. They're still early in that game. Scoreboard update brought to you by your Northern Ohio Ford dealers and the all-new 2012 Ford Focus. Ford, drive one. And over in the National League, the game to keep an eye on, Atlanta in Washington. And, of course, St. Louis, they're in action a little bit later at home against Chicago. Cardinals trying to squeeze the Atlanta Braves in that wild card race. Is that down to a game as well?
I think 2 games. I think they're 2 behind with 4 to go.
Yep. So pretty much Cardinals have to win.
Well, that's right. It was a must win, and they did yesterday, coming in the bottom of the 9th. They walked in the first run, wild pitched the second.
Pitch is low. And it's 2-2 to Dinkelman. Just by Carmona. But Kipnis throws him out. 2 away.
Well, make your next special occasion a Grand Slam event. Invite the Indians mascots at Slider and the hot dogs. The mascots are available for all of your special events. Call 216-420-HITS for full information.
Here is Joe Benson. Right back to the mound. Carmona deflects it with the bare hand. A bare hand grab by Chisenhall, and he throws him out. Oh, baby. Terrific defense by the Tribe. Carmona with the big paw to knock it down, and then Chisenhall turns it into an out. We're back here at Progressive Field where the Indians lead the Twins 4-2. Lou Marston with a ground ball foul. He lined to right his first time up. One ball, 2 strikes. Slider in the dirt. 70 pitches for Liam Hendricks here today. 40 have been strikes. Now the 2-2. Payoff pitch. Hammered to third right at Valencia. A line shot for out number 1. This is one way to get an assist. The hard way if you're Fausto Carmona.
Well, Fausto sees his infielders barehanded all the time, so he tried it, but he deflected it towards Chisenhall, and Lonnie comes in on the dead run. Makes the scoop and the throw on a very nice play. 1-5-3.
1 out, Kosuke Fukudome. 2 for 2, 2 singles on the day for the Indians right fielder. We had a lot of fun this weekend talking with Paul Sorrento and Chad OJ, reminiscing with them about the great teams of the mid to late 90s, and getting their thoughts on Jim Thome and all his accomplishments. I was just sitting there and I was looking across the way, seeing Burt Blyleven. So I thought I'd ask you the same question I asked both of those guys yesterday. When you were teammates, did you realize Burt Blyleven was as good as he was at that time? Did you realize you were playing with a potential Hall of Famer, or was he just another pitcher in your mind?
Well, I knew he was a good pitcher. You don't think like that when you play that guys are Hall of Famers. Believe it or not, and I don't know how I know this stat because Bob DiBiasio told me when we did one of his round tables, I have more hits off Blyleven than any other right-handed pitcher. But when you're playing, you don't think of anything. Anybody's a Hall of Famer. Just because they're good, you don't look at it that way. It takes a long time before they start. I mean, you even think about somebody being a Hall of Famer. I'm talking late in their career. Then they start talking about it.
Kipnis flies to left, and the Indians go 1-2-3. 4 in the books, 4-2 Cleveland. Panini's. Like Panini's franchise group on Facebook for your chance to win giveaways and prizes. (4-2). Tribe on top. 5th inning. Drew Butera, Denard Span, Ben Revere. Carmona with a first pitch strike. He went too far. It's 0-2. On a football Sunday, it's appropriate that our statistician, Jeff Gears, tells us Carmona is pounding the ground right now. 6 out of his last 8 outs have been on the ground ball outs.
Well, that's what we wanted to see. The first 2 innings, they were few and far between. Everything was up in the air and line drives. And Carmona, usually one of the best in the league at least getting the ball on the ground, and most of his outs are that way. Second in the league, 2.28 ground balls for every fly ball hit.
And the 2 hits they had in the second inning were both balls hit on the ground that just.
Right.
There's another wild chopper to short. Donald hangs with it, throws him out. The Lexus Berea Report returns to Sports Time Ohio tomorrow night at 11:30. Andre Knott, Coach Sam, Mary Kay Cabot. They'll talk about the Browns game against the Miami Dolphins. They'll have all the wrap-up and all the latest news on the Lexus Berea Report tomorrow night at 11:30. Only on STO. Denard Span takes a strike.
I wonder if our buddy Jeff is going to use our Red Lobster certificate we got for him today.
Well, it is Sunday. Kind of fancy dinner night. I just want to see him with one of those plastic bibs.
The claws.
Span sends a sky-high drive to right center. Fukudome racing back, hits at the base of the wall. Carrera's there. He grabs it. Span's on his way to third, and he'll go in sliding with a one-out triple. That ball had a lot of hang time to it, but it also got up into that breeze, and the ball just carried.
I was going to say it had some hang time, but it also had some good carry to it. Looked like Fukudome was running forever to try and get out there. That's Span's 4th triple this year. Let's see what the pitch is. There's a pitch that was like down and in. Looked like just a two-seam fastball. See, it kept going because he slowed down thinking he had a beat on it, and then he kicked it back into the gear, and that ball just short hops the wall.
Had to bring up Ben Revere. Drove in a run with a base hit in the first. Scoring Span. Then tapped one back to the mound his last time up. Pitch is inside for ball 1. Chopped to second. That'll get a run home. Cuts the Indians' lead to a single run at 4-3. Revere with his 29th RBI, second on the day. And there are 2 down in the inning. Let's go back to the Hyundai Studios for another in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
Matt, that wild card, Tampa Bay entered today a game and a half behind Boston. Boston is down 4-1 in New York. Today the Rays are hosting Toronto. Look at Ben Zobrist here in the first inning. This is going to turn into an inside-the-park home run, his 19th of the year. Tampa leads Toronto 2-1, 3rd inning. Back to you, Matt.
All right, thanks, Al. Kind of exciting news here. I just ran out of my eraser tape. 159 games in.
Well, I'd lend you some of mine, but I ran out about a couple of weeks ago.
Not bad. It lasted almost the whole year. No, I'm good. It was just.
Well, you're assuming you're not going to make a mistake the rest of the way?
Exactly right.
I don't think so.
I can dream, can I?
It'll be next inning. I'm sure you got a refill.
I got a spare. But still, that's pretty good.
Go back into the cabinet here. We have some extras. I'm sure Teflon Tom's got about a case of it.
Wow, that slammed into the photo bay down there. That hit something hard.
Camera.
Was it the camera or the monitor down there? Or was that Igor's head?
No, Igor's on the road. That still could have been his head, though.
Swung on and missed. Dyer strikes out to end the inning. Twins get a run back. And we go to the bottom of the fifth, 4-3 Cleveland.
Back here, bottom of the fifth inning. Santana, Hafner, Duncan due up. Indians with a 4-3 lead. Minnesota added one in the top half of the fifth.
Carlos Santana struck out in the first, double play ball in the second. Santana strikes out for the second time today. And we've got one out here in the fifth. A recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Ben Revere with an RBI single. Got the Twins rolling. They led 2-0. Lonnie Chisenhall brought the Indians right back with a 2-run single in the first. Shelley Duncan put the Tribe on top 4-2 with a 2-run homer in the third. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Travis Hafner has singled, walked, and scored 2 runs. Big hop to first. Parmalee will take it himself. And there are 2 down. Going to bring up Shelley Duncan, the man of September. 2-run homer back in the third. 22 ribbies and 7 home runs in the month of September for Duncan.
I mean, that is impressive, considering that this guy went up and down, 4 times this year to Columbus and back. If he would have been a constant and they kept him on the roster here, there's no telling, because You know, it's a shame, but he's one of those guys that you end up having number problems throughout the course of the year, and he was the one that suffered from it.
And here's a guy, too, that, you know, with regards to looking at what he's done in September, he's not going to hit 7 home runs a month over the course of a season. Not going to hit 5 home runs a month over the course of a season. But I think you have to look at what he's done as a whole, and you feel like he fills a pretty good role in this ball club, coming off the bench as a pinch hitter and being able to play the outfield and provide a little right-handed pop. Indians go 1-2-3. Furniture, home of Sealy's Posturepedic mattress, made in Northeast Ohio. And by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. It's time to join the Hyundai movement. Chris Parmalee, Danny Valencia, Trevor Plouffe for Minnesota here in the 6th inning. High fly ball, right field. Coming foul, and
at distance.
Yeah, it sure did. Three and one the count. Carmona just over 80 pitches on the afternoon. It's a full count. Slices it out of play. And the count remains 3-2 for Chris Parmalee. All bets are off comes up later tonight on Sports Time Ohio at 7. Then the Golf Zone with Jimmy Hanlon at 9, followed by the STO Par 3 shootout. Left field, Shelley Duncan. One down. And, of course, Sports Time Ohio is your home for Mid-American Conference athletics. Throughout the month of October, tune into STO for MAC football each Saturday, starting October 8th when Bowling Green meets Western Michigan. Then stick with STO for extensive MAC basketball coverage, concluding with the tournament next spring. Ground ball to short. And Jason Donald throws him out 2 away. Oh, boy. Trevor Plouffe coming up now. He's 0 for 2. Line to right in the first, grounded to short in the fourth. The 1-0 pitch. There's a high fly ball, deep left, and she is gone. Trevor Plouffe ties the game with his 8th home run of the year. A no doubt about it blast to the bleachers and left. And we're even up at 4 apiece.
Well, that was a bomb. That thing got out of here. Hit that ball about as well as you can hit it. Let's check it out on our Time Warner Cable pitch tracker. Look at that ball staying on the belt high plane. That wasn't a sinker. That was just coming in. And it went out in a hurry for Plouffe, his 8th home run. And we are back to even.
Brings up Brian Dinkelman 0 for 2. That's out of play. Out of play. 0-2 the count with 2 down. The 1-2. Low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Full count. Carmona's pitch count climbing toward 95. This next pitch will be number 94 on the afternoon. He was cruising along, but then that homer by Plouffe, and now a long battle with Dinkelman. He strikes him out to end the inning. Third K for Carmona, but we're all even at 4, middle of the 6th. Come back to tie it. Now they're looking to see that late inning Indians offense come to life again, and that's been their modus operandi here in this series, is score late, especially from the 6th inning
well,
on.
We're in the 6th inning, and I figured they scored 11 in the 6th yesterday. Why not add to it today? There was a 2-2 game in Game 1 where they scored 6 runs.
Yep.
In Game 1, they came back. They were getting shut out 6-0. They scored 5 in Game 2. And that's the inning. They had 10 hits, 3 walks, 3 doubles. So why not start it off with a double then? The only extra base hit they have today is the home run by Shelley Duncan, 2-run homer that gave them a 4-2 lead.
They haven't had a base runner since that homer. 9 in a row have been set down by Liam Hendricks. And the way this game started, I didn't think we'd see him still pitching in the 6th.
No, you're right. That first inning was a long, for both pitchers, was a long one.
Indians sent 8 men to the plate in inning number 1. But the saving grace for Hendricks is he got out of it leaving the bases loaded and only allowing the 2 runs. So it could have been much worse. Outside and a full count. Bounce to short. 1 down. All right, once again, the AT&T trivia question today. We're looking for young guns, young sluggers under the age of 25 since 1983 have gone deep 30 times in the year.
Manny, how about Corey Snyder? I don't know who the other one would be. Richie Sexton. Forgot about Richie.
Yeah. Guess I forgot he had 30 bombs that year. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I totally forgot about him.
Big Richie. Jason Donald walked in the first and struck out in the third. Bloop to right, a base hit for J.D. And Donald, who is another guy been on quite a tear. He's now hit in 6 straight games. 21 of his last 24 overall. 1 out base runner now. We'll go back to the studios for an in-game update once again with Al Pawlowski.
All right, Matt, well, things stay as they are. Tampa Bay will be within a half game of Boston for the wild card. Posada, 2-run homer in New York. Yanks lead this game 5-1 in the 6th. Evan Longoria, 29th homer of the season at the Trop. That makes it 4-1 Tampa over Toronto in the 4th inning. Back to you, Matt.
Here is Ezekiel Carrera fouling a ball back out of play. Lester Oliveros is up and loosening in the Minnesota bullpen. 100th pitch of the afternoon right here for Liam Hendricks. Fouled out of play. Carrera has twice grounded out this afternoon. Double play ball to second. And we will go to the 7th inning, tied at 4.
Top of the 7th inning, we have snow days coming back here to the ballpark. It starts in November. Get on out here, skate around the frozen mile, bring your friends out. You can go tubing. Groups of 15 or more get great discounts. And then also Sunday, January 15th, we're going to have the first college hockey game in the state of Ohio right here. The Ohio State Buckeyes taking on the Michigan Wolverines. You can go online right now to Indians.com/snowdays and register for your chance to get those pre-sale tickets. The puck will drop at 5:05. Matt, Rick, back up to you guys.
Thanks, Katie. Look forward to that. Going to be a lot of fun. You look out in this sun-drenched field right now, and it's hard to believe this is going to be a winter wonderland in just a little more than a couple of months. Joe Benson, Drew Butera, and Denard Span for Minnesota here in the 7th inning. Activity in the Tribe bullpen as Carmona closes in on 100 pitches for the afternoon. Pretty good looking pitch. Didn't get the call. 2-1. Three balls and a strike. Ninety-ninth pitch of the day for Fausto right here. And he walks him. Our Miller tastes great in this moment on this date in 2000. Indians played a split doubleheader against two different teams right here at Progressive Field.
Oh, I remember that. My goodness, Cy Bynack was still in the clubhouse. On the visitor's side.
Twins came in for one. The White Sox came in for the second game. It was a bizarre day of baseball, but that was also the year we played 5 games in 3 days in Boston with a couple of day-night doubleheaders against the Red Sox because we had an entire series rained out in Boston in April that year. Just one of those seasons, and this has been another one where we've had a lot of doubleheaders. What have we played, 3 or 4?
Well, we've played at least 3. We played the Twins in Minnesota, Twins here, and Chicago here. So we've played at least, and we had Seattle. We've had 4.
There you go, 4 doubleheaders.
You know, it seems like a lot, and it is nowadays. But I remember they used to schedule about 7 or 8 doubleheaders every year on the schedule, and you would still have makeup doubleheaders. So you could play anywhere about, to 10, 12 doubleheaders a year.
Now Matty Acta's going to go to the bullpen. Going to make a move right here. Carmona's day over after 6 1/3 innings of work. He will leave with the go-ahead run in scoring position. Manny wants to go match up here. Rafael Perez will come on to face Denard Span. And the call of the bullpen is brought to you by Verizon. 4G LTE. Rule the air on the most advanced 4G network in the world. Like Panini's franchise group on Facebook for your chance to win giveaways and prizes. Rafael Perez for the 70th time this year. 5 wins, 2 losses, ERA 3.05, 33 punch-outs, 19 walks, and 62 innings of work. I hope he goes home in the offseason and just sleeps for a while. Just rest that arm. He's had a lot of work, and he's done a terrific job. Anytime you get a relief pitcher to work in 70 or more games in a season, that's a workload. Because You can't go by the innings pitched and all that, because if a guy's in 70 games, that means he's been up that many times,
right.
plus maybe 5 to 10 more times where he didn't get in a game. And all those tosses, even in the bullpen warming up, they all count.
Well, that's where you learn as a veteran to get down there. You know how to warm up when you're going to be used and when you're not going to be used. It certainly takes time to do that, but when you look at their whole bullpen, their bullpen has done a great job, and they've all been used very similar. You got Chris Perez, 64. Rafi, this is 70. Pastano, 65. Tony Sipp's been in there the same amount of times, 68. 69 for Joe Smith.
Yeah,
so
it's
all
not
the
like,
same.
It's not like any one guy has been overused.
By no means.
Easy out at first, 2 down. Benson moves to third. That's the go-ahead run now 90 feet away. And with 2 down, it will be Rafael Perez versus Ben Revere as Joe Smith begins to loosen in the Tribe bullpen. Revere 1 for 3 today. He's driven in 2 of the Twins' 4 runs. A 13-game hitting streak, a season and career high for him. It's 2-0.
Well, right now, but Tim Belcher going to go out to stall, so it looks like Joe Smith will be ready for Kadire, who's on deck.
I think Rafael Perez would like to know where each one of those last 2 pitches was at.
It's been like that all day. We saw it from the first inning.
You're right.
Remember? I mean, we commented on it then. So, you know what? I quit saying something. I mean, it looked like a good pitch, but we've seen pitches like this all day long. Maybe a little in. Who knows? It's been a hitter's zone today. He's just stalling for time, that's all. Now Belcher could go out there and ask him where that pitch was. Look, it's exactly what he's going to do. That was a pretty good pitch, wasn't it? Yeah, you see the smiles going on right there? Subtly get his point across. Then take his jog back into the dugout.
There wasn't very much about Tim Belcher when he was a pitcher that was subtle.
No,
that's something
true.
I think he's worked on as a coach.
Yeah, he's pretty intense. He loves it, man. He's done a great job.
The 2-0. There's a strike. No, you're right. He has done a terrific job as the Indians pitching coach, now in his 2nd year. And he'd be the first to admit that he's learned a lot as well going along.
Well,
in his
I'm
first
sure
2 years.
It's not an easy thing to do. I mean, you are responsible for 12 individuals on that ball club that you've got to keep everybody happy, everybody ready, everybody mechanically together. It's not an easy job. That and the hitting coach, 2 very tough jobs.
Slowly tap back to the mound. Perez. Quick flip, inning over. Raffy does a nice job. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Cleveland Clinic. Get up, let's move it. And we're moving now to the bottom half of the 7th inning. And Lester Oliveros now on the hill for Minnesota.
Coming on for the 19th time. Pitched with the Tigers as well this year. 13 strikeouts and 20 in a third innings. And we got 9-1-2 in the Indians lineup here in the bottom half of the 7th. Well, this has been the part of the game where the offense usually seems to kick in. Late in the ball game, Minnesota tied this game up back in the 6th inning with a Trevor Plouffe solo homer.
And Lou Marson 0 for 2 will lead it off for Cleveland. Oliveros, low, ball 1. Out of play to the right. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, this is our final home telecast of the season. Final home game for the Indians. It's certainly been a lot of fun bringing you Indians baseball all season long, and in particular, anytime we get a chance to do the games right here at Progressive Field, one of the best ballparks in all the major leagues. It's always a lot of fun. And, of course, you and I are far from alone in bringing Indians baseball to all the great fans day in and day out. We have a tremendous crew that we rely on heavily. And the home base crew, second to none throughout the league. Starting right up here in the booth with our statisticians, Tom Boshenik, Jeff Gears, our stage manager, Gary Coach. It goes on from there, Brian McDermott, Gene Anderson, Mark Shapiro, Kerry Cams, Robert Benny, Joe Gamolo.
Yeah, you keep going. I know it. There's a lot of them.
Mad Dog. If I'm forgetting anybody, I apologize. Let me think. Who else? Jimmy Orack.
Jimmy O. Yeah, he was upset after, Mike was going to retire for Jimmy. He's going to miss that parking spot.
Nice catch on the run on the warning track by Benson for out number 1. Takes extra bases away from Lou Marson. This is Joe Gamalo bringing you the shot right here.
Right away, Joe.
Yeah.
Right in on him.
But seriously, our sincere thanks to everybody here at Progressive Field who helps to bring us Indians baseball to you folks at home each and every night.
They're like the coaches. They're the first ones here and the last ones to leave every day.
Yeah, that's true. We should also thank all the folks that help make our life easier here, like Emily and Lucille and Kenesha in the lunchroom. They all do a great job.
There's just so many people involved around here that we could continue to thank people forever here. Terry and the boys out at the gates.
Yeah.
When we come from the parking lot to walk in.
Always
Terry
greet you with
Kenny,
a smile.
Yeah. I mean, they're into it too. They listen to the broadcast. They know. They said the other day when we saw Mike Ditka over there on the field.
Glenn.
That's right.
Yeah,
Glenn. I came in and Terry said, "Hey, Coach, where's Ditka at today?" I mean, they get a kick out of that stuff.
I saw Glenn. He said, "Do I really look like Ditka?" I said,
"No,
that's."
I didn't see him. I was going to go on the field to see him. I didn't go down there. I thought he might punch me.
There's
Coach Ditka. Give him a cigar and a bigger stash.
Here's a fly ball to center, and that's out number 2 as Fukudome flies to straightaway central.
No, you don't, Glenn. Yeah, right. We ate it, because we were in Chicago.
Yes, we did multiple times. Jason Kipnis scored a run. He's got the scowl, that's for sure. He's got the Ditka scowl.
I'll tell you, a little bit of stash, and we'll give him a big old cigar. Come on, Coach.
Oh, my.
I'm surprised he's here today. I thought he was doing the NFL on a studio set. Maybe for the last day, last home game, he came here. Thanks, Coach.
He'll be in studio tonight.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
2-0 for Kipnis. 4-4 tie here, last of the 7th. Pop to left. Revere. And the Indians go 1-2-3. We'll go to the 8th, tied at 4.
Of the Cleveland Indians.
Eighth inning here at Progressive Field now as Vinny Pistano comes on for the Tribe. He'll face the heart of the order for Minnesota. 66th appearance for the rookie right-hander. 1 win, 1 loss, 2.25 ERA. $22,539 the attendance today for the season finale here at Progressive Field, which is almost dead on the season home attendance average. They averaged 22,729 for the year. Indians drawing 1.8 million. Swung on and missed. The ball and 2 strikes. Yankees leading Boston 6-2 in the 6th. Tampa Bay leading Toronto 4-2 in the 6th down in St. Pete, and I'm sure the Red Sox are doing a little scoreboard watching.
Well, they better not. They better worry about their own game.
Dyer strikes out. Well, they've been feeling Tampa Bay creeping up on them for a while now. Vinny Pistano strikes out Kadire to start the 8th. For more on the Tribe right-hander, let's join Katie with him.
Well, guys, I spoke with him earlier today, and Vinny very satisfied with the season he's put out there this year. He said he learned the most from bullpen coach Scott Radinsky, who was a short reliever in his time. Vinny said he really tried to adopt his mentality, mimic his mindset out there. He knows he still has to work at his game against lefties, but really he's most proud of being known as kind of Mr. Dependable when he's on the mound.
Well, he has been that and even more this year.
Well, yeah, they never expected him to come out and take the bull by the horns in that 8th inning role, which he did do. And you talk about a power arm and a fastball that jumps on you. Sure, you're going to improve, and there's always something to improve upon. But that's a man right there that doesn't get enough credit for the job he's done with that bullpen out there, Scott Radinsky. I mean, he's got a very low-key profile, and, I mean, these guys know right where he's coming from. He teams up with Tim Belcher, and those two have done a tremendous job with the pitching staff this year. You know, it's easy. It seems like when everything fails, the coaches get blamed, and then when everybody does good, the players get the credit. But those guys, I'll tell you what, they have done a really good stand-up job. See, he can even stretch well.
Oh, man. You know, Rad and Belcher, too, they're never going to tell you what you want to hear. They're always going to tell you what you need to hear, whether you like it or not. And I think that's a very important aspect of coaching, because it's not always easy to tell a guy the truth sometimes when things aren't working.
They have to hear the truth. Sometimes they can't handle the truth, but you have to hear it.
Two down. Pistano trying to work a 1-2-3-8. And the 2-2 to Valencia. Got him. I mean, just pumped it past him. 2 Ks for Pistano. The Twins go in order. We go to the last of the 8th. Tied at 4. Four, bottom of the 8th. Carlos Santana, Travis Hafner, and Shelley Duncan will bat for the Indians against Glenn Perkins. 63 appearances, 4-4, 2.56 ERA. Santana 0 for 3 today. 3 for 11 in the series. Popped him up. I don't think anybody sees it. It's going to drop. How about that? I knew they were in trouble when Benson was looking at Span. When the right fielder is looking at the center fielder and the ball's directly in front of him, you know they've got a problem. And the Indians catch a break as Span and Benson couldn't communicate to make the play.
You're right. Look at him come in. He doesn't see it, and that ball's going to fall for a base hit. How about that?
Here's the pitch, and Hafner takes down low, ball one. Outside again, 2-0. Three balls, no strikes. Shelley Duncan, right-handed hitter, waits on deck. Taken all the way, it's in there, 3-1. Perkins not a guy that really has control issues normally. Just 20 walks and almost 60 innings of work. Full count for Hafner. The payoff pitch is lined to center field and caught. Span able to make the catch. He hit that so hard the ball never had time to sink.
Well, I don't know. You cannot hit a ball any harder than what Hafner just did. That ball stayed up all the way to center field, and that couldn't have been more than 10 feet high. I mean, he smoked that ball, and Span gets a jump on it, and he runs it out and makes the sliding catch.
And Jim Thome is going to pinch hit for Shelley Duncan. In what very well could be his last at bat in an Indians uniform. And everybody up on their feet. One on, one out. Low and away, ball one. Two and 0. Lonnie Chisenhall waiting on deck. Thome ahead in the count, 2-0, with Santana the go-ahead run at first. And it's low, ball 3. So for the second straight hitter, Perkins falls behind 3-0. He came back with 2 strikes to run the count full to Hafner before he lined out to deep center. Now the 3-0 to Thome. And it's ball 4. So 2 on, 1 out. And Lonnie Chisenhall to the plate. He challenges Chisenhall, who bounces into an inning-ending double play. We will go to the 9th, tied at 4. All began at the hot corner, taking over third base here in the 9th inning. Now, I don't know if they'll play it out, if he'll be here for one batter.
He says, I don't want, one pitch maybe.
Don't hit it to me.
Maybe one pitch. I don't think they can afford to put him out there for a whole batter.
He has not played third base since 1996 in a ballgame. And you see Lonnie Chisenhall's in left, so he's probably there briefly. He'll come into third, and then Tomey will exit, and we'll get somebody out in the left field. But a nice tribute, a nice final send-off for Jim Tomey here this afternoon. And I'll tell you what, the fans immediately rose to their feet the minute they saw him jogging out onto the field. They got a big thrill just seeing that. Here's the pitch. And in there for a strike. And now Tomey will exit. He actually was he using Chisenhall's glove? Because he doesn't have one. He hasn't had a glove in probably 5 years.
More than that. Over in the National League, that's true.
Trevor Plouffe bunts it foul. Foul back out of play. Popped up foul. Santana will make the catch. One down.
Cleveland history.
Yeah, and Jim Thome, who was the third baseman for the Indians, this, he said, was his most memorable moment.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. Over 40 years of not having the chance to celebrate like that.
One ball, no strikes to Brian Dinkelman, 0 for 3 here this afternoon. Checked swing, foul right into the Indians' dugout. It went right through the opening.
It either got Smitty or the skipper.
I think the skipper's behind the screen, but
oh yeah, there he is.
It
That's
almost
right.
got Steve Smith and Bruce Fields. Two and one to count. Two and two. Grounded to second. Backhanded nicely there. And Jason Kipnis throws him out. Two away. Joe Smith ready, the 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Sandy Alomar and Jim Thome. Who'd have ever thought you'd see the two of them back on the bench together in the same uniform in Cleveland? Made it off his foot. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 down here in the 9th. And a tie game. In the bottom of the 9th for the Indians, Jason Donald and Ezekiel Carrera, Lou Marson due up.
Well, get this third out, and it's been a year of walk-offs for the Indians, and see if that can continue in the very final game of the year here.
Full count. Oh, Mark Wallow, come on.
All day long. Marson's already talking to him about it.
3-2 pitch. Line to right, a base hit. So you give him an extra chance, and he comes through. And a 2-out base runner for. Let's see if we get a pinch hitter. We will. Looks like Matt Tolbert's going to pinch hit for Drew Butera.
Well, it's the exact same pitch. This time he swings at it and gets a base hit.
Rene Tassoni will pinch hit for Drew Butera, not Matt Tolbert. Joe Smith ready, the 1-0 pitch. Low, 2-0. Belt high strike. 2-1 to count, with 2 down and a runner at first here in the 9th inning. Four runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Twins. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Indians. Minnesota has left 4. The Indians have left 5. Twins scored 2 in the first. Indians tied it with 2 in the bottom of the first. Indians went ahead on the Shelley Duncan 2-run homer in the third. Single tallies for Minnesota in the 5th and then in the 6th to tie the game at 4. And that's where we stand here in the 9th. th pitch of the inning for Joe Smith. Runner goes. It's outside. Throw down. Got him. Benson gunned down to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Tied at 4. Introducing the Hyundai Assurance Trade-in Value Guarantee. Shelley Duncan's 2-run homer had the Tribe on top in the 3rd inning, but Minnesota has come back to tie it since. Lonnie Chisenhall, the 2-out 2-run single in the first, accounting for all 4 of the Indians' runs here today. Between innings, Jim Thome got a nice standing ovation from the hometown crowd here at Progressive Field. Jim has said he has not made up his mind about whether or not he'll play next year. Everybody probably has their own opinions.
Well, different question for a different day. You have to let this season unfold and see what happens in the offseason.
But if this is it, it has been storybook. It has been fantastic. It has been everything he hoped it would be and then some. You got a defensive change now for Minnesota. Looks like I don't know what they had going on there.
Well, Benson's
coming out. Is that Rene Tassoni going into right field?
Yeah, it looks like it.
So Benson's out. Tassoni is in. Oh, you know, I didn't think about it, Rick. But if they didn't put him in the game, they would have lost his ability to hit because he was at bat when the inning ended. So they had to find a spot for him on the field just so he could come back and hit again.
Mm-hmm. It's like the double switch there.
Yep. 1-2 for Donald. Jammed it, fouls it off. Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show comes your way after the ball game. Conrad's home of the lowest everyday tire price guarantee. 2-2 for Donald. Eleven hits in his last 20 at bats. Count remains 2-2.
Get that first man aboard, some good things could happen. You got a guy that can bunt that's on deck.
Sole chopped to third. Going to be a tough play for Valencia. Bare hand grab, but he couldn't come up with it cleanly. And Donald with an infield single.
There's the leadoff man aboard. That's okay. Let's go. ABCs. There's A. You need a B to get him over and a C to get him in. That would be a base hit. But he tops this ball right off the plate. Valencia, no chance. Even if he fields it cleanly and throws it to first base, Donald runs too well. His head is down. He's going to beat it out. There's the winning run.
Now Carrera to bunt 0 for 3 on the day. This has been a real struggle for Carrera. He's got the ability to bunt and just burn down the line and beat it out for a hit. But when it comes to just squaring it up, getting the bunt down when you've got a sacrifice, not as good as he should be. And it's 0-2. Boy, oh boy.
He doesn't seem like he's a sacrifice bunter. We've said that all year. He just has a tough time doing it. Now Manny says, go ahead and swing it. For a guy that can bunt and has had bunt base hits this year, has a tough time putting down a sacrifice bunt. But now, on more than one occasion, we have seen him miss 2 bunts and then get a base hit and continue the inning. So you're hoping that thing continues.
One ball, 2 strikes. Broke his bat, lines out, 1 down. Well, let's see if we can go right from A to C and skip B.
Well, C could be a gapper.
That's right.
Yeah, because he scored from first.
Lou Marson will be the batter, 0 for 3 today. He takes a strike. He went around. Coming into today's series finale, in the first 3 games, Minnesota's bullpen had pitched a combined 7 1/3 innings and allowed 10 earned runs on a dozen hits. Today, so far, 2 1/3 scoreless. The key is their starter got him deep into the ball game. Liam Hendricks went 6 innings. He did allow 4 runs, but he pitched the final 3 innings scoreless. The Indians have not tallied a run since the 3rd. Count remains 0-2 for Lou Marson. Or a ball and 2 strikes. Runner goes, and it's chopped foul. Bounce to short. Plouffe to Dinkelman. On to Parmalee. An inning-ending double play. We've got extra innings. Tied at 4. Thanks, beef jerky. Feed your wild side. Tony Sipp will pitch the 10th inning for the Indians.
Now this will be the 10th extra inning game for Minnesota. The Indians, this will be extra inning game number 14. Twins are 5-4. The Indians 6-7.
Rene Tassoni was at the plate when the top of the 9th came to an end. So he'll bat here to start the 10th for Minnesota. Then Denard Span and Ben Revere. All lefties to face Tony Sipp. Chisenhall couldn't quite reach it. Indians Tigers Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night from the Motor City. We'll have all three for you on Sports Time Ohio. All three games begin at 7 o'clock. Missed inside.
Detroit will be trying to get their rotation in order. Verlander pitched yesterday, and he will obviously pitch game one in the playoffs. But they have Fister coming.
Deep to right. Fukudome watches it leave. Tony Sipp gives up the go-ahead homer to Rene Tassoni, and Minnesota has a 5-4 advantage. For Tassoni, home run number 4. His 17th run batted in.
Check it out. The pitch on our Time Warner Cable pitch tracker. Fastball right down Broadway. And he stayed in on it nicely and hit it a long way. So Minnesota breaks this tie. It's 5-4. For Sipp, that's the 10th home run he's allowed this year.
Slap foul the other way. Twins closer Joe Nathan now getting loose in the Minnesota pen. The 0-2 to Span. Santana will take it himself, and that's out number 1. Outside corner, a called strike. Revere cuts and misses, and he falls behind 0-2. Sipp delivers, and it's chopped foul first base side. Still 0-2. Van Revere, then Michael Kadai are here in the 10th for Minnesota. Two-strike pitch. Fouled back out of play. Did he go? He did. Rivera strikes out, 2 down.
You look at it from the side, and what do you think? Ooh, they caught a break there. Third base umpire called it. Jim Reynolds said, yes, he did go. He can't believe it.
Michael Kadire 0 for 4, a couple of strikeouts on the afternoon, 3 for 17 in the series. Outside with a fastball, 1-1. The Yankees closing in on that win over Boston 6-2. They're in the 8th. Now the 1-1. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Here's the 1-2 now. Slowly chopped foul, third base side. New York leading Boston 6-2 in the 8th. Tampa leading Toronto 5-2 in the 8th. So the Rays about to close to within a half a game, and then Boston with another game tonight, and part of that day-night doubleheader. They could either be dead even at the end of the day, or they could restore a one-game lead.
1 with 3 to go. That's going to be interesting because after that game, they go on, the Red Sox do, to play the Orioles.
Tampa finished with the Yankees?
I think so, yes.
1-2 pitch. Big chopper, first base side, fair ball. And Kadire's headed for extra bases. Just a big bouncer down the line at first. You don't see him hit many balls like that, but it's good for a 2-out double.
Well, this is a topper. Look at that ball. That ball was way up and out of the strike zone. And, I mean, he kept it fair, and it stays inside the bag, and Santana wasn't going to get there. That ball gets by him. He gets into scoring position.
Tony Sepp comes set. He deals. And Chris Parmalee takes low, ball 1. There's a strike to even it up at 1-1. The long shadows creeping on to Progressive Field here in the 10th inning. Swung on and missed. He gets ahead 1-2. Sip comes set. He delivers. 2-2. And a full count with 2 down here in the 10th. And a 24-pitch inning for Tony Sipp. Drilled to right, base hit. Fukudome cuts it off, coming around third to score. Kadire, throw to the plate, and he's safe. So Tony Sipp can't get out of the inning, and the Twins keep it rolling. They score their second run. And it's now 6-4 Twins.
Well, he goes down. We said a good low ball hitter. That guy goes out and golfs that ball into right field. Fukudome going to make the throw all the way in the air. Pretty good throw right there, and Marson can't hold on and apply the tag. So Kadire scores. That's the insurance run. Parmalee drives in another run for him, and it makes it a 6-4 ball game.
Now Danny Valencia takes a strike. He's 0 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. Drove in a run way back in the first. Back out of play. It's 0-2. Hit to center. Carrera moving back on the track right in front of it, makes the catch. And that'll end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 10th. Tribe now down 6-4.
Coming back into the bottom of the 10th inning for the Cleveland Indians. The Twins just put 2 on the board in the top half of the inning to make it 6-4. So the Twins will answer. They'll bring on Joe Nathan, their closer. We'll see if the Indians have a little magic here in their last home game of the year. Nathan coming on for the 47th time, a record of 2-1. He's 13 saves out of 16 opportunities. He's going to face the top of the lineup. It's going to be Fukudome, Kipnis, and Santana, the scheduled hitters.
Well, we saw it in the series opener. The Indians have had a lot of last at-bat magic this year. 12 walk-off wins.
Yeah, 7 via the home run ball.
But first things first, need some base runners. Fukudome has singled twice in the ballgame. And he pops the first pitch up. Dinkelman, the second baseman. One down. That'll bring up Jason Kipnis, who has walked and scored a run today. And Jason Kipnis looks at ball one. And he pops it straight up on the infield. Plouffe for the shortstop. Makes the catch. 2 down. Going to bring it up, or leave it up to Carlos Santana to keep it alive for the Indians. 1 for 4 here this afternoon. Breaking ball in for a strike. Breaking ball fouled right back. And the count 1-2. Carlos Santana. Trying to keep it alive here in the bottom of the 10th for the Indians. Joe Nathan trying to close it out for Minnesota. Right back to the screen. Big cut by Santana. Maniac looking on. 2 down, bases empty. Looks pretty bleak right here for the Indians. Unless Santana can come through to keep it alive. He takes up and in. Full count. One more out of the strike zone, and you bring the tying run to the plate. Travis Hafner lurking in the on-deck circle. Man, has a good eye at the plate. But you also know Joe Nathan doesn't want to have to mess around and deal with Hafner.
Yeah, you got to go right at him right here. Here you go. You got to hit it. Can't walk him.
The 3-2. He did walk him. So 2 outs. Santana to first, and Travis Hafner to the plate, representing the tying run for the Indians. Hafner today 1 for 3 with a single. He has also walked and he has scored twice. Hafner, 13 home runs on the year, 57 runs batted in. He's had some big home runs against Minnesota in his career, too. They let Santana go to second, and Nathan missed by about a foot. And it's ball one. He wants to talk with Rene Rivera. Maybe just catch his breath, try to get himself straightened around here.
Well, he certainly is not going to groove one for Travis Hafner, that's for sure, with the tying run, and you certainly don't want to walk him. We said that about Santana as well, but you have Jared Head on deck. You remember they made those switches back in the 8th inning. Well, now it's coming around, and Head is the scheduled hitter behind Hafner, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
Nathan ready. The 1-0 pitch. Down low, 2 balls, no strikes. Nathan fires. Hafner taking a belt-high strike fastball right there. Joe Nathan ready. And the 2-1 pitch. Chopped over into the Twins dugout. And we're all even up. It's a final in New York. Yankees beat the Red Sox 6-2. They're in the 9th in St. Pete, where Tampa is trying to close out Toronto. They lead 5-2 there. Royals lead the White Sox 2-0. They're in the bottom of the 8th in Chicago. Rain falling now here at Progressive Field. Just a few light sprinkles. Here is Nathan's 2-2 to Hafner. Grounded to first. Parmalee will take it himself. And that ends the ball game. So Minnesota escapes town with the finale by a final score of 6-4. The Indians dropped to 80-79 on the year. Minnesota, with the win, goes to 61-98. Winning pitcher Kyle Waldrop, it's his first to save the Joe Nathan, his 14th. Loser is Tony Sipp. He drops to 6-3 on the year. Time now for our play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank. Thanks for making KeyBank the #1 bank in Northeast Ohio.
Well, you go to the 10th inning. Tony Sipp comes on, faces that first hitter. He's had problems with him lately, and that's going to be a home run. Sony, he was at the plate when the runner was thrown out. They left him in the ball game, came back up and hit the home run, and it ended up being a game winner for him. That is going to be our KeyBank key play of the game.
So that's it. Twins win at 6-4 in the home finale here at Progressive Field. We'll come back and wrap it all up on the Conrad's postgame show next.